From Mencari Newsroom at redmencari.com.
Good morning, this is Miko Santos and your today's rundown, Friday, May 30. Trump tariff battle takes another dramatic turn overnight. Australia faced an alarming cancer crisis affecting young people. Private hospital giant Healthscope collapse. And climate activists clash with government over the massive gas project, plus new research back hybrid working arrangement. Our top story. The Trump tariff saga has taken another dramatic twist, with a federal appeals court overnight posting the ruling that blocked the president's sweeping trade measure. Yesterday, a U.S. federal court ruled Trump overstepped his authority with Liberation Day tariff targeting virtually every country globally. But within 24 hours, the appeal court restored Trump's ability to impose tariff using emergency power, adding to the market uncertainty.
The courts should have no role here. There is a troubling and dangerous trend of unelected judges inserting themselves into the presidential decision-making process. America cannot function if President Trump, or any other president for that matter, has their sensitive diplomatic or trade negotiations railroaded by activist judges.
The whirlwind legal battles reflect the chaos surrounding Trump's economic policy. For Australia, the $650 billion export market, the uncertainty continues as multiple court cases play out simultaneously. Australian Industry Minister Tim Ayres told RN that the government won't rely solely on U.S. court process. A disturbing health crisis emerging for young Australians. New data reveal Australia has the world's highest rate of bowel cancer among people under 50, a trend that puzzling medical experts globally. Health Minister Mark Butler revealed the shocking statistic this morning in an interview at RN Breakfast. For 30 to 40 years old, for example, they increased by whopping 175%. This is still a really concerning trend we're seeing and puzzling researchers. The crisis compounded by diagnostic challenges. Butler shared one tragic case highlighting the problem. While bowel cancer rates for over 50 have dropped 25% in 25 years, the surge among younger Australians represents a critical public health emergency. Researchers suspect lifestyle and diet factors with Cancer Australia now conducting an urgent review. Butler urged young people to trust their instinct and be assertive with doctors about unusual symptoms. Australia's second largest private hospital, Healthscope, has collapsed into receivership, affecting 19,000 staff and countless patients nationwide. Health Minister Mark Butler ruled out a taxpayer bailout for the overseas private equity-owned company. Butler assured patients with upcoming procedure and that operation continue as normal, with 12 months of funding secure while receivership seek new operators. The collapse highlights vulnerability in Australia's private healthcare system, particularly concerning for younger Australians who rely on private health insurance. The approval of North West Shelf gas project extension until 2070 has triggered fierce climate activism, with Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young calling it a political bomb.
Well, at stake is the safety of everybody, our climate. And we know that every time a new huge gas field like this project is given the green light or the pipeline, we know that intensifies the pollution going into the atmosphere and therefore makes climate change worse. And it just beggars belief that this week was the week that the new Environment Minister decided to make this decision to approve this huge pollution bomb at the same time as residents in New South Wales are struggling with floods. People have lost their lives, their homes, their livelihoods. In my home state in South Australia, farmers and the community are are struggling with a drought, some of which people are saying is worse than the millennial drought. And of course, we all know the terrors of the bushfires.
The project represents 4.4 billion tons of future emission extended to 20 years beyond Australia's net zero target, a timeline Perth MPK Cheney called unacceptable for climate-conscious voters. New Productivity Commission research vindicated hybrid working, finding its deliver employee benefit without harming productivity.
So what the report did was essentially look at the literature around the world on what the productivity impacts are. And in broad summary, what that shows is that fully remote work may well have a hit to productivity. You miss out on some of those benefits of face-to-face contact, sharing ideas, helping look after, mentor junior staff. But it also suggests that hybrid work doesn't seem to have a negative impact. So you don't need the full 5 days a week in the office to get the benefit of those face-to-face contacts. So it looks like hybrid work in many cases is a sweet spot. It provides benefits to employees in terms of flexibility, avoiding commutes, and there doesn't seem to be much productivity downside.
The findings suggest hybrid work is worth about 8% pay rise to employee, challenging corporate mandate for full office returns. In other health news, COVID cases are rising with the new Omicron variant, prompting vaccine booster recommendation. The measles vaccination schedule phase review as protective antibodies may wind early than expected. And NDIS foundational support promised by state may miss by July 1st deadline. Political reshuffles continue making headlines with opposition leader Susan Lee defending controversial shadow minister appointment. That's your morning update. We'll continue tracking the Trump tariff legal battles and Australia's young cancer crisis through the day. I'm Miko Santos. For more news online, we'll see you at midday. And don't forget to subscribe at readmencari.com.
Subscribe to Mencari for news with authentic Gen X perspective, cutting through the noise with zero fluff. Available now across all podcast platforms. News without the noise, perspective without the panic.